together. We were all chatting for a bit, and then all of a sudden, let's see, he was a junior, I think, at Harvard, a student who was the vice president of the Republican committee, had noticed us and came over and joined us. So he came over with a big smile, and here we were talking about different things, and we all put our hands together. We had a wonderful prayer together right in the middle of Harvard Square as people walking by were praising God, thanking God, and, praying for the president, JFK Jr., Mono Saban, and all the ones that have been so wonderfully gracious to us all. As President said to you guys, it's the same thing that happened to me. Prime Minister said it, Mono Saban said it. You go out and encourage one person. And when Brett told me that he was going to call, I was opening up my Kid by the Side of the Road book. And this is, I was blessed enough to meet everybody involved with the book. Obviously, I met Juan. I had some conversation with Juan. I met the editor, Scott, that I'm in regular contact with. And I met the gentleman, Dave, that did all the pictures in the book. And so when I opened up the book, it started with page, they oranged in a few things. And it goes on page 48, guys, and it says, 48, it's oranged in, and it says, first thing, 44, it said, hell no, you've got to go, get off our soil. And that's kind of what Brent, when he did his April 19th video, but by the way, Brent, that was an incredible video, and I'm sure some of them saw it. And then it goes to the next page, on page 48, in the book, it's oranged out, it says, slaves no more. And then on page 51, it says, yeah, we are all that kid by the side of the road. And then it goes into another page, it comes in, Q post 255, 2556. People awake are what they fear the most. Q post 2994. You awake is their greatest fear. And then Q post 3409. People united and awake are their biggest fear. And that's what's happening right there with you guys right now. And I want to tell you that each and every one of you in your own family are called. Every one of them, when one did the thing, the call. That's a call to every one of us. And Lynn and Brent and I were talking as he was going to meet with you guys. And that every one of us individually have been attacked. And I know you have. With your hats, I saw you. You guys look fantastic. And thank you so much for the video that you sent me, Brent, Lynn, and all you guys. And I'll tell you, we're all been called. And when Brent did that video on April 19th, he talked about the battle at Concord and Lexington, which is only right up the street from where I live. And he said it, and when he read in the book, that some people didn't even want to revolt against King George, even at that time. They just wanted to keep the status quo. And as Brent said it, that's exactly what's going on right now to each and every one of us. But you guys have stepped out and put the Trump hat on, had the courage. You had the JFK Jr. shirt of the flag, or you stood up wherever you guys are to be called and to be counted. And it's not easy, but you know what? What's the last thing I read in the book just there? The thing they fear the most is when we know the truth, and then we're awake and we're united together. That's what they fear the most. That's what's happening in Utah. That's what's happening in Boston. That's what's happening all around the world. And I know they were sharing that somebody's there from Australia. Shout out to you too. And I'll just tell you that it's not easy being called, of course. My life was a lot quieter than it is today. But I'm doing it because of the grace of God and because of the Patriots and to stand up with this great president. Some of the attacks that I've received, I say to myself, how does President Trump do it? How does President Trump take for us? I get a couple little ones, and then he gets the attacks that he's got, yet he's still standing, fighting for the country, fighting for the world. So I just want to say to you guys, shout out to all of you that have stood up and stepped out. It's not an easy thing to do. I've got two brothers that I love dearly. We're very close, I'm one of three boys. My older brother is an executive for Lockheed Martin. He's a very wealthy guy. My younger brother is a liver transplant surgeon right in Wisconsin. Wonderful. Very successful. But I'm not speaking to them right now because I had to. I had to block them because they don't agree, and that's okay. I love you dearly, they love me. But that relationships were restored, reunited. I couldn't get anything to get me off course. And when you got loved ones spitting in your face, so to speak, it's not easy to do it, if you will. And I'm sure each and every one of you at times have had that. So I apologize for getting so excited, but I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for Fred and Lynn and all of us. I spent the day yesterday with Prime Minister. He's an amazing guy. I just spoke to him on the phone a few minutes ago, and I was telling him about what you guys are doing in Utah. And he told me to tell you guys how proud he is of you guys too. He salutes you. I salute you. It's not easy to step up, but what's the thing they fear the most? And the kid by the side of the road. I'm going to say it again. People united in the lake is their biggest fear. That's what's happening around the world and right where you guys are. So I salute you, Prime Minister, salute you. I love you, Lynn. I love you, Brett. And I love all you guys that are there to support Lynn and Brett. So thank you so much.
Hey, Gerry, I know you got pull, and I know you're the real deal, and you're so powerful. Like when we saw you at Harvard Square, it was just like magic. But the power of God, then the cab, the Jesus cab in the background.
Yeah, amazing.
But Gerry, tell us, because we're out here, and a lot of us are alone in the struggle, but we're together today. Do you think there's a chance that maybe you can tell Juan about this video and this event?
No, of course I will. Of course I will. And I'll tell you, we're doing right now. So Prime Minister and myself started a prayer meeting at 6:30 in the morning. And the only negative about it is sometimes, like with Utah at 4:30 in the morning, we didn't consider that too good. We didn't plan it too well. It's like in California, where my daughter is, it's 3:30 in the morning. It's like, oh boy, we didn't do such a good job with planning that. So after the first prayer meeting that we did, Juan got in touch with me and said, I want to pray with you tomorrow. So Juan was supposed to pray with us on Saturday morning. Now again, I'm not gonna, whatever the case, and I don't know if you guys know it, but it just came out. I didn't hear it from Juan, but the Attorney General just passed away today. So that's what that came through Telegram. I don't know if you guys heard it. The Attorney General, I don't know what these people know, what they don't know, but it came out that Robert Kennedy, 1968, that Robert Kennedy just passed away today. So whether or not, I don't know if it's verified or not, but anyways, Juan was supposed to join us on Saturday morning, and he wasn't able to. So I'm not sure why. But anyways, we can think whatever we want. But of course I'll let him know, and I know that he watches these videos, and I know he knows what's going on with all of you people, and he knows how much, obviously he's inspired myself and Brent and Prime Minister and all that, because Prime Minister has been a big JFK Jr. 107 fan from the beginning, and he's been very, there's another couple stories, but anyways, of course I will tell him that. I wanted to see if I could get in touch with him, and I tried, but I haven't heard back from him to see if he could possibly even call in and say hi to you guys, but I haven't got, he hasn't got back to me. Sometimes he gets back to me right away.
Hey, Gerry, we feel his spirit. We're gathered in his name, in Jesus' name, and it's a movement, because every one of us here's a brother and sister. And it was very powerful, because, I say, they set the record. They beat Philadelphia, they beat Boston. Not as a competition, but I kind of felt it emanate from Boston, Gerry, with your power. But the people here, it's just...
Yeah, I heard the guys from Dorchester. That's why I put the picture of Chester.
Give him another shot. Here, let me give...
Sure if we talk funny or they listen funny.
No, you guys talk funny. You guys talk funny. So who told the Aussies?
We don't talk funny, but no. I love the Australian accent. I love the, South African accent. My pastor's from Cape Johannesburg, South Africa. I love those accents too. But anyways, again, I don't know if either the South Africans talk funny or I listen funny. I'm not sure what it is.
Gerry, we're going to give you another shot from Joyster. Are you a vet, sir?
Yeah.
We got a vet from Dorchester. Come on.
Hey, Gerry.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, sir. My brother's a vet also. I appreciate your service.
Yeah, son of Paris Island. Hey, I worked at Fenway from 68 to 71 as a kid before I went in the military.
My God, sir.
That brings you back.
Wonderful. Yeah. Hey, listen, the Red Sox, I don't know if you're still a Sox fan, but I grew up here, so when I was a kid at that time, as you know, 67 Kevin Yastrzemski won the Triple Crown. They did pretty well. They did well in 75. You know, they did well in 86. And then they
Here you go,
finally won in
Yankees.
04. But, you know, they're coming back again. You know, I still get excited about Boston sports, you know. So, you know, that's how we grew up. But when I was little, we never won anything, right? We never won except Larry Bird won a few times. So I know you know what I'm talking about. What's your first name, sir?
It's Jack.
Jack, very good. Thank you, Jack, for your service. And,
Yeah,
you know, Jack,
I gotta add,
Jack, what's that?
I had a meeting the other day with a bunch of contractors, and Thurl Bailey was a keynote speaker. He's 6'11". He's an old jazz player from Utah. And he said the toughest player in my career to defend was, guess who? Larry Bird. He said that just a couple days ago.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Sure, of course. Larry was such. I loved his competitiveness. I loved his Valentine. But you know what, Jack? You know, you look at the Larry Birds, you look at the Tiger Woods, you look at the Roger Clemenses. They had that Valentine in their heart that made them the best of the best, and that's the Valentine that each and every one of you have. So doing what you're doing, because we're going up against the grain. We're going up against the tide in what we faced. I wore a Trump hat in Massachusetts for about 15 months. And people say, Gerry, how do you do it? I had my landlord just say to me the other day, I said, don't worry, Trump's coming back. And she said to me, Gerry, I'm afraid if I start talking about Trump, I might get beaten up. And that's what people think. But the 15 months I wore a Trump hat, and everybody came around me and said, I'm with you, 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 whatever the case. So you guys have the Valentine in your heart that Larry Bird had and that Roger Clemens and Tiger Woods have in their hearts, because they're true champions, and all you guys, Brett Lynn and all you guys are champions. And that's what Juan O'Savin, I know, would say to you, because Juan would say to you guys right now, I'm telling you what it's saying. Because he said it to me already, he said it to us, and I'm just passing it along. He says, you guys are my heroes, is what it's saying. Because you guys are on the front line every day, taking the hits for the president, etc. So you guys are my heroes also, and I appreciate you as much as I appreciate Lynn and Brent, of course. So keep doing what you're doing and keep encouraging, because one by one the country's coming back, and we're not going to be I told you so. You know, we can get excited and say I told you so. Well, we can enjoy that for a minute. But you still need each and every one of you to hold them when they fall down, when they say, oh my goodness. Because everything that you guys have heard, just about everything, it's all true. And the thing is that the mainstream media is coming down. They're all coming down. And your loved ones are going to need you to encourage them, because the whole world's going to just fall in front of their face in a real short time. Now, one more thing, Fred, let me say this. We did a video with Juan the other day when Juan said, I don't know if any of you heard it, but he talked about there might be another human missile type crisis.
Yeah.
Have one of those. And he
Yeah.
said, if that happens, you know, it's under control. So if you see something like that crazy happening, just know the White House are in control and it's part of the plan. That's what he said to us. So, anyways, you guys are wonderful, and I appreciate you. And as I said, Juan O'Savin would say to all of you that you are his hero, and he means it from his heart.
Jerry, thank you so much. God bless you. Let's do the group shout out to Gerry Foley.
Thank
Gerry!
Gerry! Woo!
And you guys are wonderful. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Lynn. All of you. God bless all of you.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Rock on.
All right, guys.
Hasta luego.
Guys.
Ciao. Nos vemos pronto.